Hello, my name is David Shindoll,
I'm Kathy Ziola.
and we're here to give a little taste of some strategies that might help you in your relationship. First, how to make your life miserable. So here's an example of how to make your life miserable. I'm so sick of this. Like, you say you're going to change, like you're going to stop working so much, and you just like do it in a different way. And it's like, I'm just like, don't even believe you anymore. And it's like super pissing me off.
I tried. I changed my schedule. I'm trying to support us here. I mean,
Well,
how can how
trying's
can
not enough.
how can you gripe about this? I am supporting us.
Yeah, but like, you take so much time. There's other stuff that you do that's not about work that just takes time away, like all that, stuff you do with your friends on the phone. Just
Well,
that's
I
time away from us. I mean, it is already so busy, and it's like, I don't know, like that's the stuff I want to see changed.
You're always attacking my lifestyle and the things that are important to me. Don't you care anything about me? If I don't do those things, how can I be a good person? I need support. I need to talk to my friends. I need to do other things that are fun for me as well
Well, that's
so
the
that
problem. That's the problem. I. That's the problem.
I've had it.
That's going great. Commentary. So, what I noticed was that I wasn't taking in anything that Kathy was saying because I was so caught up in my own perspective, my own point of view, uh, and there was no space for Kathy to even understand what was going on for her.
Yeah, and I noticed I felt defensive. I couldn't really hear what you were saying because I had this defensiveness come up in me and I just wanted to snap back and explain and defend and claim my rights to be me.
Mm.
And I didn't feel some care for you. I kind of got that you wanted more of me, but I was just pissed off that you were complaining and I felt like defending myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if we can do this in a different way. So, step one is connecting with my intention to contribute to our relationship and to care for whatever happens. I want to care for our relationship. Um, so just that. So let's try it in a different way
Yeah,
now.
I'm ready.
And I'm going to connect with not so much about what I want, but what's important to me. And I'm just going to say that. Um, do you have about 10 minutes to just talk and listen?
Yeah, of course.
Because I find myself, I'm really like frustrated and stirred up, and I'm really wanting like some understanding about what's going on for me, because a lot of what's going on just isn't working. And
Oh, I'm bummed out just kind of hearing something's going on. Yeah, do tell.
mm-hmm,
What is
yeah,
it?
um, well, it's about uh, just I feel like there's for me there's like a distance that's a growing distance between us, and
Mm.
I'm saying this so that we can come up together with something that kind of nurtures our relationship, that feels good to both of us. And so I just really want you to know that that's like my intention in bringing this up.
That you really want our relationship to be better. You want to feel more connected. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, feeling more connected and like care, like there's some mutual care between us.
Well, yeah, of course there's care.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't always come across. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Something's missing around that because, of course, I care for you.
right. And I see so many of the things that you do out of care, like
Mm-hmm.
how hard you work
Mm-hmm.
and how much time you spend on that. And
Yeah, I really want to support us in,
mm-hmm,
our old age and have some retirement. And
mm-hmm,
I know it takes me away a lot.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And so that's the part of like there's the time away, and then there's the kind of stress about work that's kind of on top of it. So I'm
Oh,
wanting to find a way that where there's some way where we can, there's the work, which is really important, and that there's some kind of space carved out for us that's where where there's kind of like a dedication to our relationship.
Yeah, before we go to like trying to figure it out, what to do, I feel like I want to just say a little something about how it is for me, because, yeah, I do feel that stress. I'm working a lot, and then when I'm not working, like you said, I feel stressed about it, and I actually kind of feel sad about that. And it's hard. I feel exhausted. And so then I don't really have a lot to give in the relationship. And just having a moment to feel that and say that, I notice I actually feel pretty sad and torn, because I value our relationship, and I value, all these things that I'm giving attention to as well. And I guess I don't really always know how to manage it very well. And when I get stressed, I think I snap at you. Would you mind just reflecting for me what you're hearing?
Yeah, just I'm hearing that when you hear, kind of what's going on for me, there's sadness there of how the effect of just so much work and so much like on your mind, so much tension is affecting our relationship.
Yeah.
So,
thank you for that. Yeah. Anything else you want to share about it before we come up with ideas?
Just that there's, and this is kind of the hard part, right? Like, because there are things that you've done that I'm confused about and I'm frustrated about. Like, you would stop doing one thing, and then you kind of fill that space with another thing, so I'm just kind of confused. And I guess where I go in my head, a story I'm telling myself, is that you value a lot of things more than our relationship, and I know that that's a story that's going on in my head, but that's where I go.
So when I do one thing, when I shift up the schedule, but then I fill it in, and it's not with you, the message you're getting is that I don't value you or our relationship maybe as much as you'd like. Is that it?
Yeah. And so I just wanted to lay that out, and I want to just own that that's my story that I have. And
I appreciate that. I wonder if we should just maybe pause here and just share a little bit about how that felt and how that was going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even just that part about sharing things that are tough, like just that last part, but before, on the time before, it was just very tense and very much like, I have to have this, and and I must have this, and you've got to change, and it felt just very closed. And this way, it felt vulnerable, like owning my story and owning that there's something underneath that story about, like some kind of hurt and disappointment, and that I can get to, that's more real, that's more true, and that when we can kind of connect around that, that's intimacy.
Yeah.
That feels like intimacy. I'm sharing what's true for me.
Yeah, thank you. My experience was that I felt much more open to hearing what you were bringing, and actually felt like moving towards you initially, like, oh, well, what is it? Because I care about you. So just the way you brought it to me was very different. I did not have the defensiveness come right up like I had before. I didn't feel that sense of attack and have to and demand. And so I had a lot more openness to really hearing and understanding you, and a willingness to share what was hard for me. And the vulnerability, I felt close to you as we were doing this, and as I was able to touch into the sadness that I felt was very real. And so much more a kind of flow of connection, even though we still don't yet know what we'll do. There's a quality of heartfelt connection and care going on at this point in the conversation, which is, to me, the most important piece.
Yeah, thank you. And that brings up another thing that I'm remembering of just the power of that setting intention. Because if I hadn't set that intention of I really want to find a way that this feels good for both of us, and that this, that this nurtures our relationship. And I think that really created a space where I could be receptive to you, and actually see you, and see the care that's behind all the work. So.
Yeah, and setting that intention out loud was a huge help for me. That I heard that you cared about both of us and cared about our relationship. And so it was just like opening the space for us to really hear one another and hold the care for each other. And in this place where we've come to, just the flow and the connection and the care, even if there might be some more hard things to hear, I'm currently, if I were right in this conversation, the current feeling is I trust that we're going to come to some way of working this out because of how we're holding it and how we're connecting. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is an example of just the shift that is possible when we change our focus of attention to, who's right and who's wrong, what's wrong with this relationship, to what is important, what am I really valuing in this moment. And this takes practice. We invite you to come to our weekend workshop, and the details are below, to take time with your partner to practice a different way of connecting that is more meaningful and brings more intimacy and happiness to your relationship.
Thank you for joining us today and listening for a few moments, and we look forward to the opportunity to work with you and share with you more about the skills and the how to engage in this way. See you soon.